Hello and welcome to today's math lesson. So first of all guys, can we all turn to wave and say a big hello to our friends on camera. Hello. And we'll begin by doing our meditation sequence. So I will sit down, take 2 fingers, find our heart center, left hand on our laps and close our eyes. And when you're ready, guys, you can open your eyes and come back to the room. Excellent. And next we can do our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And we can begin by stretching up high to the sky. High as we can. And then let's go down low. Touch your toes. Back up high one more time. And this time, can we go tippy toe high? And while we're there, let's have a wave side to side. And then back down to touch your toes once more. And stand up straight, guys, and shake it out. Arms and legs, shake it out. Now hands on hips. And let's have a wiggle side to side. Have a nice wiggle side to side. Stop. Another wiggle side to side. Wiggle side to side. Stop. Forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, and stop. And then we can go round and round. Round and round. Round and round. And stop. Go back the other way. Round and round the other way. And stop. One more time, guys. Shake it out. Arms and legs. Arms and legs. And to finish, we will do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Have a seat. So welcome to today's math lesson. And we're going to begin learning about a new topic today, guys. And the name of that topic, ready? Charts. Yes. And charts is spelled C-H-A-R-T-S. Charts. Yes. Or you may also hear another name which can mean charts. We have another name which is graphs. G-R-A-P-H-S. So all together, guys, charts or graphs. And charts or graphs are ways that we can display various types of information. And so the person who reads the graph or the chart can get the information that they want. But there are lots of different types of charts that we're going to be learning about in the next few lessons. And what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to introduce a few different charts that you could see in the future lessons, or maybe in other places in your lives. For example, here we have a circle. But then, if I start cutting this circle into sections, does anybody know what type of chart this is? Now think about food. Yes, well done, Prau. This is what we call a pie chart. P-I-E. Chart. Or you may sometimes hear it referred to as pie graph. So remember, guys, charts and graphs means the same thing. A pie chart is a pie graph. And how a pie chart operates is that the different sections of the pie relate to different parts of information. So that's one type of chart. Here we have another one. What can you see now? Just look at what you see. What is this? Line. So guess what this chart is called? Line chart. Yes, we have a line chart. You see how each of the different charts are related to how they look. A pie chart looks like a pie. A line chart or line graph has lines. The different informations are joined together using a line. And how about this one? Does anybody know what this is? What can you see on this chart? These are bars. Yes, so what type of chart is this called? This is a bar chart. B-A-R for each bar. Because what the bars do, they represent the different parts of the information. So altogether, guys, we've got pie chart, line chart, and bar chart. And what we're going to be doing in today's lesson is we're going to be focusing on bar charts, or bar graphs, as they may sometimes be referred to. What we're going to learn how to do today is how to read a bar chart accurately, because each bar chart has different types of information, and all of the different pieces of information go together to create a correct bar chart. And if we want to get the information from it that we need to know how to read a bar chart correctly. So what we've got now is a PowerPoint presentation for our students to observe, listen to, and also practice speaking about bar charts, the different types of information they have, and how we can read them correctly. So let's all turn to have a look at the TV screen, please, guys. So let's take a look at today's PowerPoint presentation, reading bar charts. Yes, and here on the picture you can see an example of a bar chart. How many different bars can you see? 4. And each bar represents a different sport, because the title of this bar chart, Our Favorite Sports. And what we have here are the different sports: soccer or football, softball, basketball, and other sports. Yes, and then on this side, we have the number of students who like each of the sports. So you can see how a bar chart consists of various types of information. So now let's find out what those types of information are. Bar charts are charts that use bars to represent data. Yes. Each of the different bar represents a different piece of data. And it's always a good idea when doing your own bar charts, have each bar a different color. That way we can tell the different datas independently. Bar charts can also be referred to as bar graphs. So don't be confused. If you hear bar chart or bar graph, it's the same thing. So some people call them charts, some people call them graphs, both the same. All bar charts have various pieces of important information. So let's find out what these various pieces of important information are, so that you can learn how to read bar charts correctly. Number one, title of the bar chart. Yes, all bar charts need the title. What is the bar chart for and what is it about? For example, the title of this bar chart, what kind of pet do you own? Yes, so we know automatically that this bar chart is about pets because the title tells us, and the title goes at the top. Number two, vertical axes. So remember from when doing our line exercises, vertical is going up. The vertical axis is the vertical line here. Okay, so this line here on the bar chart is the vertical axis. But the vertical axis needs more information. It can't just be a line. Number three, vertical axis label. And here is the label. Can anybody read that label? What is the vertical axis for? Number of people. Okay? So this axis is for the number of people who own the pets. But with the vertical axis, we also need vertical axis scale, because we need to know the numbers. So to have the numbers, we need the scale. And here is the scale here. What is at the bottom of the scale? 0. And then we go from 1 all the way up through to 11. Okay? So the scale goes from here. For example, how many people own a rabbit? So what we do is we go to the bar about rabbits, and then how high? 4. You see how we use the scale to get the information that we want. The blue bar is for which animal or which pet? Dog. How many people own dogs? 8. So you see, already you're reading the bar chart correctly. We take the dog bar, go all the way to the top, and then read across. 8 people. This is how we do it. Number 5, horizontal axes. Yes, remember vertical is going up. This is the vertical axis. But we also need the horizontal axis. It's like a line, but on a chart or a graph, it's called an axis. And finally, horizontal axes label. Axes label. Now, what are the labels on our horizontal axes here? Rabbit, dog, cat, goldfish, hamster. The horizontal axes label are the different pets. So what we can do is we can read across to each pet and we can see how much each one is. How many people own a cat? 11. How many people own a hamster? Really? Be careful. Don't read too quick. Let's go to hamster. Let's find hamster on the horizontal axis and then go across. 5. And then how many people own a goldfish? 6. 6 for goldfish, 5 for hamster. So by reading the different pieces of the bar charts, we can get the different types of information. Okay, so what's the title? Let's do this one together. What's the title of this bar chart? Our favorite sports. So we know now this bar chart's not about pets, it's about sports. The vertical axis is here. The vertical axis label number of students. Now be careful. When we do the scale, they don't always have to go up in 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s. Sometimes they go from 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. But we know that anything here is 1. Anything here is 3. Anything here, 5, 7, 9. You see, for example, soccer or football. How many people have football as their favorite sport? 9. In between 8 and 10. So we know the number is 9. How many people like softball? 4. Basketball? 6. And other sports? 3. And this is how we read our bar chart correctly. The horizontal axis always has the label of the different things that we're finding out the information about. Think of the vertical axis, numbers, horizontal axis, categories. Any questions, guys? That was brilliant, well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the PowerPoint presentation so that they can learn to understand more about bar charts, the different types of information that bar charts have, and how we can put bar charts together correctly. And coming up, I have a board exercise where I will draw a bar chart and have our students try to read the various types of information correctly. But before then, guys, it's time for our stretch sequence. So let's stand up and push in our chairs. And for this sequence, we can begin with some rotations. Left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Excellent, guys. And now we can do 5 stretches to our right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can do 5 stretches to our left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. And now we can have a shake. Shake it out. Arms and legs. Shake it out. And then let's take our right hand and find our left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. Right hand, left foot. Left hand, right foot. And then once more, guys, let's stand up and shake it out. Arms and legs, shake it out. And to finish, we will do 5 claps. Sorry, 5 star jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent, guys. Or star jumps and claps. So now I'm going to do a board demonstration of how to correctly create a bar graph. And what we're going to have our students do in this lesson is read the different parts of information of the bar graph correctly. So first of all, the first thing a bar graph or bar chart needs is a title. So the title of my bar chart will be Favorite Foods. Okay, so first of all, we'll write bar chart. B-A-R-C-H-A-R-T. Bar chart. And now, for my bar chart, I will have the title Favorite Foods. F-A-V-O-R-I-T-E. And foods, F-O-O-D-S. So already we know, by looking at the title, what is our bar chart going to be about, guys? Favorite foods. Is it about sports? No. Is it about pets? No. Is it about foods? Yes. You see, that's why the title is important. Already, before I've even begun to design my bar chart, we know what it's about. So now, the next thing our bar charts need are its axes. The first one, from the bottom to the top, can anybody remember, beginning with V? Vertical, yes. A vertical axis on a graph or a chart is simply a vertical line, but they're not called lines, we call them an axis on a graph. And then the next thing that our vertical axis needs is its title or its label, okay? So what we're going to do now, like we did on the number of people. So what we're going to do on our vertical axes, this is going to represent the number of people who like the different foods. But who can remember what we need on our vertical axes so that we know how many people, guys? 0, 1, 2, 3. Can we remember what it's called? Scale. Excellent, prayer. Well done. We need our scale because a line here has no information. If we're going to know the number of people, we need to have the numbers. So we can have our numbers. What number will be at the bottom? 0. Always start with 0. Now, shall our scale, shall it go 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or shall we go 0, 2, 4, 6? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's do it that way first. So 1, what's after 1? 2. And we'll stop at 8 because we're at the top of the vertical axis. And what's a good thing to do on the vertical axis is to have a point for each number. So now you can begin to see how our bar chart is taking shape. Title, vertical axis label, and vertical axis scale. Is our bar chart finished yet? No. What does it need going along the bottom? Horizontal axes. And a horizontal axis is just like a horizontal line. But another thing that our horizontal axis needs, it needs a label. What type of labels do we need on our horizontal axes? What do we need? What type of things, guys? So if it's about foods, what do we need at the bottom? If we're going to find our favorite foods, what categories do we need? It needs to be about foods. So who can give me some examples of foods? French fries, okay. Fish, yes, we'll go with fish. So let's see, we can have the first category. Fish. Chicken. Pizza. How about egg and steak? We have 5 categories. So remember, when we're doing a bar chart, the title of our bar chart will always relate to the horizontal axis label. If we're doing a bar chart about favorite foods, the horizontal axis label must always be about foods. Okay, now we're ready. Well, can we tell about our favorite foods yet? No, we haven't got any information. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to draw my bar chart with the different bars, and then I'll ask some of my students for the answers to the questions. So just wait one moment, guys, while I do my bar chart, and then let's see who can answer the questions correctly. So let's see. Okay, now how many bars can you see? 5. Now I've only got the one color, so what I'm doing is all of my bars are blue. But if you do your own and you have coloring pencils, always a good idea to have a different bar, a different color. That way it's easy to refer to the different types of information. But like you say, we've got 5 different categories: fish, chicken, pizza, egg, and steak. That's our horizontal axes. So 5 choices for our favorite foods, which means we will have 5 bars giving the information. So question number 1. Let's see if you can read the bar graph correctly. How many people have fish as their favorite food net? 5, yes, because what we do is we go to the fish category and then we simply count up to the top of the bar. And where does the fish category stop? 5. So the number of people who have fish as their favorite food is 5. Well done, Net. Nadia, how many people have chicken as their favorite food? 7, yes, see? Easy when you know how. All we do is we go to the next category, chicken, up to the top, and we can see 7 people have chicken as their favorite food. Down. How about pizza? How many people's favorite food is pizza? 3. 1, 2, 3. We go along. Perfect. Maybe my 3 isn't quite big enough. Let's see. Actually, it's my graph. That should be higher. So now it's 3, okay? So 3 people have pizza as their favorite food. What lackout? Egg. 1. Only 1 person has egg as their favorite food. Pangpon. Steak. How many people have steak as their favorite food? 4, correct. You see, what you do, steak is the furthest one away. So what we need to do is we need to go to the top of steak and then draw a line along and see 4. Okay, so they're the different categories of favorite foods. Now, some more difficult questions. How many people in total were asked? 20, really? Let's find out. How many for fish? How many for chicken? 7. How many for pizza? 3. Finally 3 after I draw it properly. 3. How many for egg? 1. How many for steak? 4. Okay, so now add up all of the categories. And how many do we have? 5 plus 7 equals 12 plus 3, 15. 15 plus 1, 16. 16 plus 4 equals 20. So we know that in total, 20 people were asked. Now, which is the most popular food? 7. And that food is? Chicken. Chicken is the most popular. Which is the least popular? Egg is the least popular, yes. And which food do 4 people like the most? Steak. Guys, that's brilliant. You see, by looking at the bar chart and taking the different types of information, you can already read your bar chart correctly. Brilliant. And now it's time for our worksheet part of the lesson. So teachers, make sure every student in your classroom gets their own worksheet. And what we've got on today's worksheet is an example of a bar graph or a bar chart. And what we want our students to do is demonstrate their understanding of how to read the bar chart correctly, just like we've done with our board exercise here, to answer the different questions. Now this bar chart, the title, is about the number of trees that the people seen. So the questions are all about different trees, and each bar represents a different one. So by reading the information correctly, our students will be able to answer the questions. But what's the first thing we need to do, guys? Names on top first. And give our students around 13 to 14 minutes and just help them with anything they need. You can demonstrate how to answer each one by using the board if needed. So Bangpon, this one's for you. You're welcome. Plow, here's yours.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Down, here's yours. You're welcome. Chew for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Nadia for you. You're welcome. Pat, you're welcome. Pak Bung, you're welcome. And Net for you. You're welcome. So this bar graph, guys, is about trees, not about food or pets. It's about the people, when they went on a walk, they seen different types of trees. But how many? And this, which tree did they see the least of? So the least amount, the lowest bar, oak. Yes, the oak tree. There's 5 different trees. We've got the oak tree in yellow, the birch tree is green, the evergreen is blue, the pine tree is red, and the cedar tree is orange. And that's correct? Correct.
Which tree did they count?
Did they count? 7 of. So let's go to 7. And then let's go along. And what tree is on 7? Cedar. Cedar tree. C-E-D-A-R. I don't think Thailand has cedar trees. We have oak trees. But you can... Pine. Okay, so cedar and pine add together. What's the number of cedar and pine trees together? Look at the 2 bars and add them together. Equals 17. 17. So you can see how you can answer the questions by reading the information correctly.
What was the
Second most regular or frequent tree. So the second most, not the most, the second most. So what bar is second highest? Really?
evergreen?
Not the highest, the second highest. Evergreen, correct, the evergreen tree. And then, what was the second most regular tree? Okay. Arthur, that's the name of the person. This is Arthur. I forgot to say Arthur. Arthur counted 3 more pine trees on his way home. How many different types of trees did Arthur count altogether that day? So, altogether. So remember, like we did with the boards exercise, now it's time to count all of the trees together. Okay, I believe you. Let's see. So we've got 2, 5, 8, 10, 7.
Equals 7. 2 plus
2
plus 5
5
equals 7.
plus 8
Plus 8 equals 15.
plus 10. 25 plus
Plus
7.
equals 32.
32, correct.
32.
Brilliant, Claire, well done. Welcome back to class. We hope your students enjoyed the worksheet activity where they could use the different pieces of information to answer the questions about the bar graph correctly. My students here all did a brilliant job, so very well done, guys. And that's all we've got time for today. So we hope you've enjoyed the lesson and now understand about bar charts or bar graphs, how they're assembled using different pieces of information and how we can read each bar chart accurately to get the information that we need. And we'll see you again soon for the next lesson. So can we turn to wave and say goodbye, guys? Bye-bye. See you again soon.